What's up, everybody? So today I got two stories for you, and it's about some companies that are very well known, Instagram and Facebook. These two companies, if you take a look into their startup and their history, they can teach a lot of good lessons. So I heard this recently on my SoundCloud, on my motivation when I listen to it when I work out, and I just think it's really interesting, you know. And if you really look at like a billionaire and how they became a billionaire, that's, you know, their story. There's lots of secrets. There's lots of little hidden lessons that you can pick up from a story like that. So, first one I want to talk about. Let's talk about Instagram. All right. So Instagram was so once upon a time, there was a guy named Systrom and a bunch of other people. There's 13 people basically that started up Instagram. But in 2010, Instagram was born. So first they started out with a company called Bourbon, and this app allowed you to check in places like bars and stuff. And when they realized that their users were putting pictures on, they were like, we need to, you know, capture this part of it, the picture part. And that's what Instagram, that's when it was born. So they launched it in 2010, and it got 25,000 signups, and it was running, the server was running on, they said it was less powerful than a personal MacBook Pro. So this whole story is about a vision. All right, it's about building something for a vision and not chasing just the dollar, not chasing a dollar or the buck. And you know, like, what do you, people see like the headlines, you know, and how these companies sell for billions of dollars, and they're like, man, if I could just create this one idea, you know, if I could just get one product, and then I'd be a billionaire, you know, and I'd sell out for $1 billion, you know. And that's the mindset that is never gonna let you to be a billionaire. That's the mindset that is always gonna keep you in a place where that's not a reality, but a place. Now, if you look, these guys who had a vision, they weren't just trying to sell for $1 billion. They weren't, you know, System didn't sit down one day and was like, well, he probably did. He was like, I'm gonna be a billionaire one day, because I know that's you know, you got to know those kind of things. But I can guarantee he didn't sit down and he was just like, I'm going to create a company and sell it for $1 billion. Hey, this is what I'm going to do. No, he was like, I'm going to create something awesome, something that people are going to use, something that people are going to love, you know. And it was that vision that he kept going after. So he burnt all his bridges, and him and the 13, there was 13 of them total, and they all were going broke. This is a no revenue business in 2010. They're not taking in any revenue. They're like a non-profit, and they have to support all these servers, 25,000 on a sign up, you know. And so all these errors kept coming up, you know, 404 errors that were like, server couldn't load, you know, because the server would crash. So these guys had to work 24/7 to keep the site running, because if the site didn't run, then people wouldn't get on. What's the point? You know, so these guys, so 2010, you know, so 2010 comes around and they're like, we need some engineers if we're gonna make this actually happen. So they had to hire 2 engineers, and in 2011 they had to hire 3 engineers. So they're paying employees, and they got 13 people working, and now they got 3 engineers in 2011, and they're all broke. They're all making no money at all, none, you know. And they're still working though. They're putting everything they got into it because it's the vision. They're chasing this vision of creating something awesome, creating something that people are going to love, people are going to use every day. And they kept going. And then finally, in 2011, 2012, they had 5 engineers. And when they were most happy with a version of Instagram that they liked, they were able to sell to Facebook for $1 billion. Okay, so that whole story is amazing. They were, for 2 years, what have you done for 2 years and literally made no money doing, you know, like spent all your time, every, you know, they had to carry their laptops around 24/7 to make sure the site wouldn't crash. That's what you're doing all the time, and you're making no money. How do you, so it's the vision. Chase a vision. That's the whole point there. That's the mindset you need to have. Alright, so let's move on to Facebook. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Mark Zuckerberg, and him and some buddies created a Facebook. You know what Facebook is. I shouldn't talk like nobody knows what I'm talking about. But Facebook in 2004. So this story, Facebook's story, is about not settling. Don't settle for, and it also kind of ties in with the first story. Like, don't chase a buck. Don't chase the dollar, because it's not good. That's the wrong mindset to have. That's the wrong mindset. If you look at these guys, they didn't have that type of mindset. And alright, so Facebook in 2004 came out. It was a great idea. They had some big investments, and so they're really low revenue too at this point. In 2004, they're barely bringing in any money, and but the amazing part is right here. So 2004 comes around, an unnamed financer offers them $10 million. Mark Zuckerberg, here you go, $10 million, bro. Give me that company. How many would you, have an idea and you'd be willing to sell it for $10 million? But Mark Zuckerberg was like, no, it's not worth that, because it's priceless to me. It's priceless to me because this is my vision. I want to create something beautiful, create something that people are going to use, people are going to like. Alright, so 2005 rolls around. He's like, nah, I don't want that 10 mil. And then Viacom, like MTV, Viacom, they offered 75 million in 2005. And 75 mil, 75 million. And he's like, no, man, no, it's not worth that. I'm not gonna do it. 75 million. How many people would just say right there, 75 million, I'm set for life. I don't have to do nothing. I can buy an island. I can chill out all day and not do nothing. But he was like, nah, not gonna do it. So 2006 rolls around, and Viacom comes back with a different offer, and they're like, listen, we'll give you 800 million cash today. What do you think? And totally, we want to make it total 1.5 billion. And he's thinking, 800 million cash today, right now. Right now, in your hand, 800 million. And he said no. Sorry, bro, no. He said no. 2006, June 2006, this is like 6 months down the road, Yahoo offers them $1 billion up front. What's he do? There's a trend here. I think you can see it. $1 billion still wasn't worth buying his vision, buying his dream, because he knows it's priceless. He knows that it's not about the buck. It's not about the money. So 2007 rolls around, and Google was looking at him. I don't think they made an offer, but Google was looking at him, and they did an evaluation at $15 billion. And this is where everybody started, they had 11 companies trying to buy him out, and you got money in your face all the time. How many people would be able to say no to $1 billion? How many people, how many people do you know that would be able to say no to $1 billion? I know zero. I probably know zero. Well, maybe a couple. I know some great people, actually. Maybe they would say no. But, it's just crazy. Would I say no? I have to ask myself, would I say no? So it's about the vision. And all right, so, and then finally in 2012, IPO did an expected earnings, or expected net worth of Facebook at $100 billion. And that wasn't an offer, but that's what they're evaluated at in 2012. They're not that much right now. I think they went down a little bit, but they're still like billions worth, And he didn't sell out. He didn't sell out because he knew that he couldn't settle. He didn't settle for nothing. He wouldn't settle. So that's the lesson there. So first, Instagram, vision. It's about a vision. Chase the vision, not the money. 2, Facebook. Don't settle. Don't settle. Don't let people tell you how your life is supposed to be. Don't settle for a lesser life than what you know you can do, what you know you can make, what you know you can create. Alright, so this video is long enough. My camera's about to die. I will be talking to you soon. Stay positive and persevere.